Yeah, as Joel said, we are a third generation or a three-generation family business, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here today to help you with whatever you need as far as wigs are concerned. Here at Creative Hair Products, we've been doing this for so long that I think we should be able to cover any of your questions and requirements as far as wigs are concerned. What I will start with today is there are a lot of people who don't necessarily want to go down the path of a full wig. And that's fine too. There are lots and lots of options if you're not necessarily inclined to wear a full wig, because there is a lot of apprehension as far as wig wearing goes. But let me assure you that today, in this day and age, wigs are so amazing that I would be as bold to say that if you are able to pick somebody wearing a synthetic wig or a wig, that it's a really bad wig. So really you shouldn't be able to pick them. But let's start with a few other options. I've got my little model here because under the circumstances I don't have any live people to work with, which is extremely disappointing, but she's going to help me out for the time being. What I've actually done here is I've attached a little fringe piece to the top of this model's head. Now, because she is not a human person, I've had to put a little bit of glue tack there just to keep it on. But if you don't have hair or anything, or you have a little bit of hair, these things are attached very, very easily, and they look absolutely amazing. They frame your face, and you can just maybe go down to the shops and not have to worry about putting on a wig or anything like that. So fringes come in a variety of different thicknesses, densities, and styles. I guess the blue tack's not ideal, but never mind. This is another fringe, a bit thicker, sportier maybe. So let's have a look how she looks. Yeah, it's not too bad. So these things are actually really, really good, potentially maybe in summer more so than now, because the reality is with synthetic wigs, and I will start with synthetic wigs, you can't actually put a hat on your synthetic wig. It will be very damaging to the synthetic. Anything that rubs on your synthetic will deteriorate the quality of your synthetic very, very quickly. One more little piece I want to show you is a little synthetic halo, so that if you do want to wear a hat on your wig, you need something that is not going to have any hair at the top here, so that it won't cause any friction when you put the hat on. So this is a little halo, and it looks absolutely amazing, just with a little bit of hair and a hat. So they're really, really easy, very inexpensive bits and pieces that are very handy in case you don't want to go down the path of a full wig. This little halo piece, however, comes with a detachable fringe, attaches to this little Velcro source here. So it gives you the extra benefit of having a fringe as well. But I always find that this is a handy piece to hang on to, because you never know what you're going to need in Movember. Anyway, that's my little havoc here. Sorry about that. Yeah, so they're the little halo pieces, and they are absolutely handy, amazing. Now, if you're not going to bother with those, I'll pop them down there. You're not going to bother with those. We're going to start with synthetic wigs. Basically, depending on if you have hair or you don't have hair, the wig that you choose will require a different base or something to secure it underneath. Usually, if you have hair, it's probably a good idea to tie it up as flat as you can, maybe 2 little loose braids, and then just pin them as flat as you can and pop a little wig cap over it. I prefer the fishnet wig caps because they have a little bit of elastic around the rim, and I think they hold better on your head. So they're really, really good. But an alternative, which is a recent invention, which I absolutely love, is a little wig grip. Now, let me bring my model back here. I forgot about her. This little wig grip sits around the head like this and attaches with Velcro. It's made from a velour or like a velvety fabric, so that when the line of the wig sits on this, it's not going to move. They are absolutely amazing. So if you find that either your wig is a little bit big or it's sliding around a little bit, invest in one of these. They are absolutely amazing. One of the questions that we received was, and I will mention about dancing. We have a lot of different dancers and people who wear wigs while they're dancing. And in order to keep them on, you'll find the grip is really fantastic. If you do have hair, however, and you want to make your wig a little bit more secure, there are tiny little clips that you can actually sew into your wig and clip them into your hair so that the wig will stay on firmly. For those pole dancers and gymnasts and rock climbers and all of those people who require a little bit more security in their wigs. Absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to start with some synthetic wigs. So let's start with a machine-made synthetic wig, and I will show you different bases that are available in synthetic wigs. First of all, the beauty of a synthetic wig is that it doesn't need to be styled. The wig will last for the duration of the lifespan of the wig. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to restyle them or anything. Now, there was a lady who also asked a question regarding thickness of wigs. So the reality is wigs come in 3 different types of bases. This one that I'm showing you here is a fully machine-made wig. Now, the beauty of a fully machine-made synthetic wig is that it gives you the opportunity to have height and body and volume. If you prefer something a bit flatter, you have alternatives. But this little wig is just fabulous. She comes in about 30 different colors, and I will show you the inside of the base so that potentially you will understand what I am saying. So the base of this wig is made fully by machine. And these machine-made wigs are the best way to get volume and height in your wig. If you like it to be flat, then a machine-made base is not for you. The beauty of all of these wigs also is that they have adjustable tabs at the base of the wig, so you can tighten them, make them a bit smaller. But given the fact that it's all elastic, it is going to stretch with wear. So you might find that you may have to remove the little clips and just tack the little strips down to where it sits comfortably for you. Don't be afraid. There is nothing you can do to damage the wig. Sometimes it's even good if it's brand new and out of the packet, give it a little bit of shake and then pop it on, because I find, oops, if the wig actually is too perfect, it looks a bit wiggy. So I'm just going to put Zoe on here again and show you how easy it is to wear. Now, a little wig like Zoe, being so short and easy to wear, will last you at least 6 months worn every day. No problem at all. The shorter your wig, the longer amount of time it will last you. Alternatively, the longer your wig, the less amount of time it will last you. What you will find is in the lengths of a synthetic wig, and I'm talking about synthetic, you'll find as the lengths rub against the back of your neck, the heat of your body, coats, scarves, and jackets, the synthetic will deteriorate very quickly. So it's probably an idea, maybe for winter, to go a little bit shorter. Now, I'm going to bring you over a couple more synthetic ones.
I'm just going to interrupt for a second. There are still a few people with their microphones on. If you're not sure, I can mute you now. I'm sorry. But again, you can definitely ask questions in the chat bar. Sorry, I'll be out of your way in a moment.
I like it there.
Okay. Sorry, I'm moving. Okay.
What a world we live in. Oh my God.
Shit. I'm terribly sorry. As you were.
Thank you. So this is another little fully machine-made wig. Again, enabling you to have height and body and volume. One thing to remember, however, with synthetic wigs, they're made for everybody. They're not specifically made for you. So what you might have to do is you might have to tweak your wig. And when I say that, I mean you might have to trim up the fringe a little bit. You might have to thin it a little bit if you feel it's too thick and bulky. And all of these things can be done here at Creative Wigs or from your hairdresser. It's very, very important that you make the wig work for you. So if the fringe is too long or you feel it's too thick, make sure you tweak it so that you will feel good about it. I think the most important thing wearing a wig is confidence. You'll find that if you love your wig, then you will feel so good about yourself that it won't even bother you. And in fact, I will go so far as to say that if you walk down the street one of these synthetic wigs, quite often people are going to ask you where you get your hair done. So you're going to have to come up with a quick, sharp answer and say, oh, well, you can't go there. My nieces did it for me, especially in Transylvania. So you can't have it done anywhere, but we can take care of it for you. So these are the machine mades. Again, you'll find that every wig has these little protrusions, little tabs on the side of the temples. They have to sit evenly at your temples because that is a guide so that you will know that the wig is on straight. Alternatively here, the wig will sit at your hairline so that you can play around and decide how you want to wear it. If you want to sweep it over to the side, no problem. But if you want to have it trimmed, also no problem. So again, a little synthetic wig like this is very, very inexpensive. I think that you should be paying for a synthetic wig somewhere between $150 and $400. And a lot of that depends on the quality of the synthetic. So you'll find there are various qualities in synthetic. You'll have fun wigs and shiny wigs and playful wigs, but a good wig you will find will look like this one and look so natural that you virtually won't have to do anything to it. So I'm going to pop Sky just back over here and show you, sorry if I'm leaving the screen, and show you this is another one, another fully machine made wig. This one a little bit longer. It's got beautiful layers through the back and a little bit longer in the front and shorter in the back. Also with a lot of volume, and you'll find that a lot of the new wigs come with a little bit of dark roots through the colours. Now, I tend to think that they look very, very natural when you see a little bit of dark roots. It takes people's eye away from the rest of the wig. Sometimes it's good to bring it back a little bit off your face, pop it behind your ears. If you're wearing glasses also, it's important to remember those little tabs and put your glasses over the tabs and bring the hair over so it covers the line of the glasses and it will look very, very natural.
Different cap construction.
Now, again, this is a fully machine-made wig, and again, they look like this on the inside. So these fully machine-made wigs will give you the volume, height, and body. She's a little bit drunk, my model here. A little bit of height and body that you require. The most that you would have to do is just flick it around. Somebody asked also, they get a little bit of flyaway sometimes synthetic. I find a really, really good tip. I rub my hands together like this, create a little bit of heat in my hands and just pop it over, and it will take away any little flyaway bits that are sticking up, and that will give you the illusion that it's not sitting nicely. So that's a very, very easy way to fix it. Now, let's move on here to the next type of cap construction, which is a monofilament base. Again, I'm going to show you this wig here, which has got a lighter grey in the front and a darker tonal grey through the back. They look so realistic. Now, a monofilament base, I'll show you the inside, is always going to look thinner than a machine-made base. Now, there was a lovely lady who asked a question regarding an older lady wearing a wig. You can't have too much volume and too much thickness. These are amazing. They give you the illusion of scalp. This little section through the front here has been hand sewn, and it has a beautiful lace covering so that it doesn't irritate your head. and it gives you the opportunity to part the wig anywhere. Let me get her on straight. If you like your parting on this side, the entire monofilament will be exposed to give you the parting on this side. If you part your hair on this side, you have the same option to change it up and move it over to the other side. The best thing to use though, however, is a little wig brush. You'll find that these wig brushes are metal with a little plastic tip. Now the metal on synthetic is essential because it won't cause static with your synthetic wig. So just give it a little brush over. If you like it to be neat, remember what I said, heat your hands, get those little flyaway bits. Another good tip to get the flyaway bits, believe it or not, is a little bit of Vaseline. Pop a tiny bit in your hands, just rub it over the top. It gets soaked right into the synthetic fibers and it doesn't require anything more than that. So these monofilament ones are fantastic if you wear your hair a little bit flatter. This is another monofilament one. As you can see, she's got this gorgeous parting already, but as well, it comes with the option for you to trim a fringe in if you feel better about having a fringe, or sweep it over to the side. For those of you who are having any medical treatment and potentially maybe losing your eyebrows, I would recommend that a fringe is probably a really good idea to cover that issue. I find that a lot of this is smoke and mirrors, and we have to disguise any issues that might be coming up. So you'll find that with a fringe, you will cover the issue of having no eyebrows. So this beautiful little synthetic wig, monofilament, again, is shorter through the back, really good for winter, so you can put scarves and jackets. And it's got this modern asymmetrical layering through the front. Absolutely gorgeous. And she comes in lots of colors. Where did I put her? Here she is, a dark brown. So what I want to say to you also is, if you wear your hair in a certain way, it's very hard to replicate a hairstyle in a wig. So sometimes you might have to deviate from what works for you normally with your own hair and go for something a little bit different, but of course, making sure it looks amazing, because wigs are so amazing today that if you give yourself a new hairstyle, people won't necessarily ask you too many questions. You can always say you've had a trim or you've had a color change, and then people will not ask you anything else. Again, this is that little machine monofilament wig. You can see, I don't know if you can see here, the natural scalp there has got a parting through the middle on the side, so it looks extremely natural. So there's some monofilaments. I'm going to bring you a couple more. Don't think that because in this day and age, you have to stick to looking the same, daggy. You can change up your hairstyle anytime you want. That's the beauty of synthetic wigs. They are inexpensive, and I would even recommend that perhaps it's a good idea to have one for good and one for every day. That way your wigs will last you a lot longer. A short synthetic wig worn every day will probably last you 6 to 8 months looking good. After that, they lose a bit of their shine and vavoom. I guess it would be like me wearing this jumper every day for about 6 months. I think it would probably look like a piece of crap after that. But with your synthetic wigs, you swap them around, change them, they'll last you incredibly longer. So I'll just pop her over there. Now, this is another one for, I think, also for an older lady. It's got a beautiful front, little bit of volume. I've actually just shown you this one before. That's not what I meant. Here she is. Alyssa, monofilament. Again, I'm going to take it off so you can see on the inside. She has that beautiful hand knotting and silk covering, so that if you don't have hair, this is not going to irritate you at all. So if you don't have hair, by the way, you don't necessarily need to wear a wig cap because the wig should grip very nicely onto your head. If you do have hair, then a wig cap or a wig grip is essential. Remembering you get your wig on centered with the two little tabs on the side at your temples, and then play around. Give yourself a little parting, and there she is.
Show hand tied.
I'm going to show hand tied gel next. So monofilaments. Now, moving on.
Still on synthetic.
All of these are synthetic wigs. I'm just talking about synthetic for the time being, and I will get on to looking after your synthetics very shortly. The latest thing in wigs, but specifically in synthetic wigs right now, is a fully hand-tied wig. Now, they are lightweight. They're completely sewn by hand on the inside of the wig. They still have the adjustable tabs so that you can make it bigger or smaller, but it also has what the latest thing is in wigs, a little bit of a lace front. Now, the lace front is really good if you like to wear your hair back off your face, because the lace front will give you the illusion of hair around your hairline. Now, some people have asked how to disguise the lace. Now, in a good wig, you will find that the lace should sit snugly at your hairline. But sometimes if you've purchased a wig that has a very big piece of lace around the front, you're going to need to trim it up. If it still doesn't sit properly, you might have to look at other alternatives, potentially double-sided tape or a little bit of a lightweight adhesive that will keep it in place. But a good wig, like this one, should not require any extra attachments to your scalp. Ideally, you should keep your scalp or your head as free as you can of adhesives and tapes. But if it's essential and you need to keep the wig on, then absolutely go for it. So you'll find this wig, again, these dark roots are just looking amazing. And this is one of the most natural wigs that I can think of. It's so lightweight and so easy to wear, and she's absolutely beautiful. You can part it absolutely anywhere. I'm going to show you a few more. These are all fully hand knotted wigs. And again, you'll see that they come with a little bit of extra length in the fringe so that you can make it work for you. These wigs are absolutely amazing. The curls through them will stay during the duration of the lifespan of your synthetic wig. Remembering, however, that these longer ones are not going to last you as long as a shorter one. So if you really like to wear your hair, maybe if you want to have long hair to go out on the weekends, a long synthetic wig will look amazing. To tie them back, if you want to, you're going to need a little butterfly clip. You're not going to be able to put in any elastics. You're not going to be able to put in any other sort of hair ties. You have to keep it as simple as possible so that you don't actually tear the synthetic. That's another beautiful one. And finally, I'm going to show you this stunning. Every single wig that I'm showing you here today comes in about 30 different colors. So you don't have to be stuck on the blondes that I'm showing you here. There are lots and lots and lots of colors available and plenty of room for you to play around. Again, a little clip at the back if you like to have it like that. Make sure if you're wearing glasses, all the tabs. So they are hand knotted. They will also sit a lot flatter than the machine-made wigs. So I want you to keep in mind that not one wig is better than any other. It's what is going to work for you. And you have to be very aware of that. If you like your hair with volume, the machine mades are great. If you like to have a scalp, the hand knotteds are great. And also these fully hand tied are also beautiful with lots of color options. All right, so if there are any questions about synthetic, I'm happy to answer them. To wash your synthetic wig and to care for it, what I would recommend is, I'll just take this one over here. What I would recommend is you don't need to wash them very often. if you were to wear a wig every day, somewhere between a month and 6 weeks, they will need to be washed. Now, I think before you decide to wash it, a good thing to do is to air it out. So what you do is you'll find the label at the back of your wig. You can either peg it or hook it like this near an open window and just let fresh air go through it. If you're having some form of treatment, I would strongly recommend that you keep any sprays or cleaning products to a minimum. A good idea for having treatment is to use a little bit of rose water or lavender water in a spray bottle diluted, and just give it a spray inside the cap and air it out. That should take away any immediate smells. So to wash it, we have all the products here at Creative Wigs. My girl, away, we have a synthetic shampoo. Now, it's really important that you stick to the products that are specifically for the wigs that you have purchased. So you will need synthetic shampoo. You fill your basin with cold water, maybe a 20 cent, 50 cent piece of the shampoo in the water. Swish it around through the shampoo in your basin. Rinse out the shampoo under the cold running tap. Never ever soak your wigs or leave them soaking in water. It will expand all of the knots and it will destroy your wig very, very quickly. So you washed it, rinsed out all of the shampoo, you give the wig a squeeze and a shake, and depending on the size of your head, you can invest in a styrene head to put your wig on, or I recommend just an empty coffee jar or a vase that you're not using, and just sit it on there and get our leave-in conditioning spray for synthetic wigs. This is essential. You give it a good spray all over the outside of the wig while it's wet, and also on the inside of the wig, concentrating here where it rubs against the back of your neck. The synthetic conditioner will also soften up any rough bits of the material on the inside of your wig for you. So once you've sprayed it with your synthetic conditioning spray, I want you to turn the wig upside down, and where the label is at the back of your wig, I want you to pop it on your shower head. Maybe don't let too many people into the shower or into your bathroom while your wig's hanging there to dry, but leaving it like this to dry upside down on your shower head will keep all the body in the wig, so that it will help it when you turn it back upside down, give it a shake, and the style will be there. That's the absolute beauty of a synthetic wig. They are so easy to care for. In between washing, I would recommend maybe once a week, every 10 days, depending on how often you wear your wig, to give it a good spray over the top of the wig and underneath again where it's going to rub against the back of your neck with this leave-in conditioning spray. It will help you tremendously. One more product that we have is the hairspray. So you can't use normal hairspray, obviously, on synthetic wigs. Anything that you use that is not made specifically for synthetic wigs will make your hair feel stiff and not sit comfortably. So this hairspray you'll find is a very light hairspray and is made for synthetic wigs. So if you need to do that, you have the hairspray as well. One more tip I want to tell you is if you like a bit of volume in your wig and it's sitting a little bit flatter, I find I use it in my own hair, but in synthetic wigs too, you can use a little bit of volumizing powder or dry shampoo powder just to get in, pop it in here, and it will just give you a bit of extra lift if that's what you're looking for in your wig. It will make it feel a little bit tacky and sticky. No one will see it, only you will know it's there, but it will give you that height and volume that you actually need. Okay, if you guys have any questions again about synthetic wigs or about anything that I may have missed there, please ask and let me know. Okay, I'm going to get on to some human hair wigs. Now, let me just strip these girls of their hair and bring them over here. Creative hair products have so many different ranges of human hair wigs. The benefit of human hair over synthetic is that it gives you the option to change your hairstyle. With the synthetic, whatever the style is the style that it will stay for the duration and lifespan of your wig. With the human hair, you've got a lot more options, but it's very long for her. You've got a lot more options to style and play with. This one has a monofilament top, can be parted anywhere. It doesn't have any specific style in, but it's a beautiful length of human hair. I'll just lift it so you can see. It's absolutely luxurious. Now, to look after your human hair and to have it cut, I would say you'll need a hairdresser. I think that it's quite a bit of work to manage a human hair wig on your own. If you're good at doing your own hair, you might be able to manage. The most important thing to know about human hair wigs is that they are actually dead hair. There's no goodness going through this hair. On your head, you have cuticles going through your hair all the time, so it gives nourishment to the hair. In a wig, there isn't anything. So it's totally 100% reliant on you to keep the condition and to keep the hair looking healthy. So in order to do that, as much conditioning spray as you can spray in there, as often as you can. Particularly in a wig like this, you might even find you'll have to go and buy some oils, whatever is the flavor of the month. Orchid oil, Moroccan oil, argan oil. I don't even know anymore what the best is, but they're all really, really good. And you must feed and nourish the hair constantly. As opposed to synthetic, they will always look good. These ones are going to need you to look after them a lot more. So that's a beautiful long human hair one, and it comes in about 30, or in fact, all of our wigs come in about 30 different colors. So I'm going to show you something. If you have alopecia, for example, the base of this wig is fully hand knotted. It's human hair, but it has these little plastic strips in them so that if you don't have hair, these grip onto your head absolutely perfectly. They also give you a monofilament top, and you can style them and cut them and do whatever you need to make them suit you. Now, when you buy a human hair wig from us at Creative Hair Products, you'll find that they are far more inexpensive than anywhere else. And that is simply because we don't style them for you. What you buy from us is the raw product. So you will probably need to go to a hairdresser, have it tweaked, have it thinned, maybe have a fringe cut in, and do whatever you need to do to make it work for you. It can be thinned, can be trimmed, it can be styled. But I want to remind you that whatever you do, if you curl it today, straighten it tomorrow, in between doing that, you are going to have to feed the hair and nourish it. You've straightened it off, tomorrow you want to put a little bit of a wave through it, make sure you condition the hair sufficiently. That's another one. Looks a bit messy over her face. So, another wig for those with alopecia who don't have hair. These ones again have the little plastic inserts that make it sit on your head. It's fully hand sewn.
She'll be happy.
Absolutely stunning, and obviously it will need to be styled. It has a lace front, and again, you'll find that all the lace fronts that I'm showing you today on good wigs don't necessarily need to be trimmed back. You might find they do because everyone has a different shaped forehead or different height forehead. So if you do, you just trim it up a little bit so that it sits just above or in front of your hairline. So this one again is a beautiful human hair wig that all it needs is your style and your creativity to make it look exactly what you want. These come also now with dark roots, with foils, and in about 10 different lengths, from shorter to longer. So really, it's in your hands what you do to a human hair wig to make it look the best for you. Another human hair wig that I'm going to show you here, which will be less expensive than the fully hand knotted bases, is a monofilament top, lace front, but still machine made at the back. Again, in human hair. Darling, let's swap. Pop this here and have a look at this. Absolutely stunning. Now, I think I've said it before, but if anybody can pick today that you are wearing a wig, it's a bad wig. Wigs are absolutely amazing. So, just a little one, as you can see, I'm just holding it back because sometimes if you have too much hair over your face, it's overwhelming. But this one has dark roots, it's a beautiful length, can be styled, and all of our human hair wigs are beautiful quality human hair. And there is a very big difference between qualities of human hair. So you make sure that you talk to us. Give us a phone call. If you're not sure about it, it's even better. Make an appointment. Hopefully next week we might be open for appointments. You come in or you give us a call and we can speak you through it. How to pick the best wig for you. I think it needs a bit more of a personal touch so that we can discuss how to find you the best wig. Send me in a photograph of what you look like, and then we'll work together and find out some really, really good options for you. You never, ever have to be stuck. I have never yet come across a person who has not been happy with the wig. So long as you keep a bit of an open mind and don't try and replicate your own hairstyle, you can do whatever you need to do. That's another human hair. And finally, another one. Now this one you'll find comes with a very big lace in the front. So it's going to need to be cut. Again, not as thick as any of the others because a lot of hairstyles today are much thinner. So you'll find that this is much thinner density in the hair. A lot of wigs come in different densities depending on how you wear your hair. So this one is a thinner density. And you do have options. If you like thick hair, there is a thicker hair for you. If you prefer a thinner density, like this one, you will find that this one will be perfect for you. Again, none of these have been styled. They can all be styled. They need a bit of a curl put through them or a style or a hairdresser. Create your own specific hairstyle. And of course, with this one, you're going to need to trim up the lace because it's sitting far too forward on the hairline. Wonderful. Now, to look after a human hair wig, I would recommend you purchase the products that are appropriate for human hair. Most of the human hair wigs available today in the world are already coloured. So you will have to get products that are good for bleached and coloured hair. So you'll find our human hair shampoo and our human hair conditioner are absolutely essential to look after your human hair. If you find it too difficult, I would recommend you go to your hairdresser to help you out with looking after your human hair.
Somebody's left their microphone on.
Someone's left their microphone on. Very good. Anyway,
Jules, good morning.
Hi, Jules. Okay, so looking after human hair. Don't forget.
How are you?
Sorry, guys.
Wires.
Somebody's got their microphone
That's
on.
Jules, whoever Jules.
Something.
Morning, Jules. So you cannot overfeed your human hair wig. It doesn't matter how much treatment or conditioner. Somebody asked a question that the hair is going dry and dull. Remember what I said to you, there are varying qualities of human hair. As there are varying qualities of synthetic hair, you will find there are varying qualities in human hair. It is costly, but if you are going to choose a human hair wig, I would make sure that you find out all about it, find out what the hair is, where it's from, so that you do know how to look after it the best. What else can I tell you about human hair? Remy, of course. Thank you, Joel. Most people think that Remy hair is the best way to go in human hair, but I don't know if people really understand what Remy means. What it actually means is when the manufacturer or when the person who has the hair before the manufacturing process makes sure that the hair is all going in the direction from the cuticle to the ends. That's what Remy means. In a lot of cases, you'll find human hair companies chuck in all the hair that they've been given and just mix it up so that the cuticle is up here or down here or whatever. If it is Remy, you will know that the cuticle is from the top going through to the ends, and it will last you longer, and it will be a much better quality of human hair wig for you.
Remy, it will matte up quicker if it's not Remy.
Thanks, Joel. Yes, if it's not Remy, you'll find, given that the cuticle is not in the correct direction, the human hair will matte up a lot faster than with Remy wig. A human hair wig will last you longer than a synthetic wig. It's far more costly. It should last you looking good, worn every day, probably about 12 months, I would say. So that's a really good investment, particularly if you think of somebody like me who ordinarily goes to the hairdresser once a week and wash and blow wave and colour and the greys and all of it. It costs me a ridiculous amount of money. So it's not such a bad investment to go for a human hair wig if it's going to last you for the 12 months. You'll find that there are so many different options in wigs. You have to decide what is going to be the best one for you. Again, I want to say to you that I think it's really, really important that you speak to us on the phone. You call us. Don't just, I know at the moment it's hard because we're doing a lot of things online, and that's fantastic, but I think a one-on-one consultation is far better so that we can exactly understand what you need and help you out to the best of our ability. That's all. I'm open to any questions if you have any.
I'll just come up. Yeah, if you've got any questions,
Thanks,
guys,
Joel.
feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Some people have asked questions in the chat box, but other than that, anyone feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions.
I remembered something really, really important.
Go for it.
I didn't mention with your synthetic wigs, do not apply heat. Don't wear them near the oven. Don't wear them near the stove. Be careful of overhead heaters. So heat will destroy your synthetic wigs. The most you can do with a bit of a synthetic wig, if you want to get a bit of a lift in the fringe, let's say, you can pop a little bit of steam on it and maybe a roller, and just pop a little bit of steam or a hot roller just briefly will help you out if they are heat defiant. Don't even think about it if your wig is not heat defiant though. You must be very careful with direct heat on a synthetic wig. Not so with human hair. Is that a question there on that chat bar? I don't know.
No, that's fine. I just also have a few points to mention also. So as I mentioned earlier, everyone obviously buying online at the moment, you're not getting what you want, etc., etc. I think it's really important that we stress to you guys that what you see on our website is not everything. So one of the things that we pride ourselves on is that we have over 2,500 different styles on hand here. So during this time, we've still been able to distribute orders Australia and worldwide because we have everything here. So if you don't see a particular style or color of something that you're looking for on our website, it doesn't mean we don't have it. That, as well as that, we have lots of different things in here on sale that are not on sale on the website as well. So this is just one section of our showroom, which if you haven't been to us before, we hope one day you will come in and see us when this insanity is all over. But It's just really important that we stress to you guys that we can find anything for you. So don't feel like you're limited. And as Diane said, we are here to help you in any way, shape or form. If you have any confusion or uncertainty, we want to help you find the right style for you, whether that's synthetic or human hair. Finally, also just before we wrap this up, we are offering all you guys a promo code today for joining us. Because we know money is tight at the moment, and helping you find a wig with a bit of a discount is great too. You should be receiving that at the end of the workshop. But also, if you have any questions, if we didn't cover something that you want to know, please feel free to ring us. Our details are on our website. Our email address is also on the website, info@creativewigs.com.au, if you need any other info. Also, we have recorded this session, so if you feel like you missed something and you want to jump back to it, once this is all done, let us know. We can then send you on the link as well. So I'll just check quickly if there were any questions while I've been talking, but otherwise.
So I would like to say that it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you today. If there's anybody that I know there.
We have got a few questions. Sorry.
Oh, questions. So, I like questions. Yes.
Difference between heat defiant and ordinary synthetic.
Okay. Well, I think the difference between heat defiant and ordinary synthetic is kind of self-explanatory. Heat defiant means you can apply a little bit of heat to your synthetic wig. On an ordinary synthetic wig, I would be extremely cautious, unless it says that it's heat defiant. A lot of the wigs today, though, synthetic wigs, are a little bit heat defiant, but be really careful. Be very careful, because they will singe, and then you will have to just come back and get a new one sooner than you planned.
Another question here, and I can answer this. Somebody has asked if they can donate their wigs, their used wigs, to somewhere or something. So that's a really good question. It depends on how worn out the wigs are. If they're still in relatively good condition, there are many people who would be more than happy to take it. The Cancer Council, there are wig libraries all around the country that would certainly take your wigs if they are used, but if they're still in some sort of decent condition, they'll be washed. So, and if you're uncertain of who to send it to, you can always send it to us, and we will make sure that it goes to a suitable place. We do work with wig libraries and hospitals all around Australia and New Zealand, so we will make sure that your wigs go to a great place. And also, if there are often questions about donating hair. So if you want to donate your hair, there are a few different people. There is Variety Australia, who are a charity who make wigs for kids having treatment. They're amazing. There's also the sustainable salons will take hair as well. So that's a good option. Angela from Angel Wigs will also do it, and she does an amazing job with people. She makes these particular types of wigs for people with alopecia. And as well as that, somebody has also just asked about toppers and top pieces. We're happy to give you a bit of a demonstration now, but just so you know, in the coming weeks, we're going to be doing more masterclasses like this. Our next masterclass will be on toppers and hair pieces exclusively. So this one was designed for wigs, but if you want us to go through that, we can just give you a small example very quickly. So if you give us 1 second, I'll bring one out to show you.
I haven't actually prepared any. So while Joel's getting that for me, if there's anybody there that I know, I miss you. I miss coming in here and seeing your happy faces. And I certainly look forward to being of help to you in any way I can. We've been, actually, a lot of people have been asking us about what to do about the problem of grey hairs at the moment. Now, I can only say that wearing a wig during this time of the grey hair syndrome, either you go for it, either you let your hair go grey, or the wig is an unbelievable option for you. Don't forget. Here comes Joel with the toppers.
Okay, so
top in here.
Yep. Just for whoever it was that asked the question about the toppers, similarly to the wig, they come kind of the same with that monofilament base here. Now, this is just a small top piece here. But how this works is it is meant to be clipped on to your existing hair. It is really important that if your hair is brittle and very fine, that a topper might not be the best option for you. If you are experiencing hair loss and the hair is coming out, a topper with clips like this can further exacerbate hair loss. So it's really important that you look at toppers if your hair is in a stable condition and it's not falling out any further. That being said, this particular piece has 4 clips, 2 at the front, 2 at the base. It's got that monofilament base like Diane was talking about before, which gives the illusion of hair growing out of the top. If you can see that, I don't really know. But this is available in also about 25 different colors. It's an enhancer, so it blends with your hair. This one is our shortest piece. We have an extra long piece also, which is like that. This is synthetic. So this is that same quality synthetic that Diane was referring to with the wigs. It is a very high quality. It is not heat defiant, so you can't put heat on this. You can put certain elements of heat, I lie. You can use steam and hot roll or warm rollers, but that's the extent of the level. Similarly, we have human hair in the same base. It's exactly in the same construction as this you see here, but obviously it's made with human hair, and that is available in different colors and different lengths as well. So that was a very brief overview. I'm sorry if it didn't answer any questions, but we'll be in touch in the coming weeks with our next masterclass, which will be for toppers and hair pieces. And also we'll be doing other classes on hair additions, hair accessories, such as our shampoos, conditioners, hair pieces, and things like that. So if that is of interest, keep a lookout on your emails and we'll be sure to get in touch. From us, again,
one more thing I want to say finally.
Yes, finally.
Through this time, I just want to say, please keep a sense of humour. This is something I don't sell, but I absolutely love it. And I just think that this is going to help you get through an insane time with an insane look. All the best, everybody.
On that note, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, please reach out. But all the best to you. I hope you all stay safe, healthy, and happy. And hopefully we can see you guys soon. Thank you and take care.
Bye, everyone.